WACP, the place to be, for we are creative people, and some place to be on a conference line in the area of the storm, New Orleans, Louisiana, on the phone, and we're talking with
Joshalyn out of D.C.
This is Joshalyn, Education for Peace.
Yeah,
all right.
Education for Peace. I'm here with Mama D in New Orleans, the eye of the storm.
In the eye of the storm.
Yeah, we don't have any power here, so I'm going to give you a few minutes with us.
All right, then. So Isaac is bearing down there. So tell us about it.
Hold on. How you doing, baby?
Excellent, excellent. So I understand that you're in the eye of the storm there. What's going on, and give us an update.
Holy hell. Excuse me. Holy hell. They lied. They're still lying. We floating. And hope to God that they don't bomb another levee on us down here. Yeah, baby, the eye has passed over us. This is why I'm on Dershowitz Street. We stayed last time. And a lot of my neighbors stayed because I stayed, but I wish they had went on about their business because they can't help. They're not trying to help, rather, some of them. And for the black men who are in the area, I advise you to please come back. We're going back to Plan 1 from Katrina. There is no help here for us. You have to come and help ourselves. Do not believe whatever you're watching. Thank God for people like Josh out of D.C. who come see about us. She and I just moved some tree limbs so that the water could drain. We're trying to check on the elders that's here. And if you know anybody in New Orleans from that area, put them on alert. Tell them to go get the elders because we don't see nothing that look like help other than ourselves. And we're straight. We're straight. We did it last time. We're gonna do it again this time, brother.
Okay. So you're gonna wait it out. Now I understand that you're out of power. You don't have power there.
No, we don't have utilities.
Okay.
I live on a tree-lined street. A lot of people came through after Katrina know where I live on Dershowitz Street. And you hear the wind? You hear it as we speak. I'm standing on my front porch. Can you hear it?
Oh, yes.
Yes, but I got to walk back in because it's a gush coming through. Yeah. And we're just concerned now about not having power, the elders being in their homes alone. And some of the brothers, and some sisters, we still on alert. We're going to go and when we can travel and go see about as many as we can. But right now, our major concern is Lower Ninth Ward because St. Bernard Parish is having some trouble way down in that area with a levee. And they lied last time, and I'm sure they will this time because it's necessary to save who they choose to save. They will bomb levees here. And now it's time to reveal that billion-dollar lie that the Corps of Engineering people told. Their comments on the radio is that they don't foresee it breaking, but if something else happens, you know, and it's just a sad thing, baby. We sitting in the middle of I was watching Haiti when they were showing this coming, and it's just like the Red Cross and Catholic Charities did in New Orleans. Red Cross took all them Haitian people's money, and here come the hurricane, and they're out there in plastic tents. You know, the filth of America and other places just have to be revealed to the rest of the world. It has to be dealt with.
Wow.
You know, when we saw them putting a committee together to deal with disasters, we knew that we had to fend for ourselves. But they had people from Yin Yang and Yang and who had no idea what to do in New Orleans. We've lived in this swamp all my life, which is almost 70 years. So, you know, it's amazing that we're going through the same treachery of racism that we had to go through all along since we've been in America, I guess you can call it, brother. Forgive me for floating, brother, but this is like deja vu. My mind is racing on where we got to go and what we got to do in terms of keeping the people fed and surviving in New Orleans. Y'all doing all right?
Wow. Well, everything is calm here. It rained all day yesterday. But you be safe. I don't want to use up too much of your cell time because I know that's your only form of communication now. So
my neighbors come, but I tell you what, how long are you on?
I tell you what, if you want to give me a call back, we can do another update.
But we would like the rest of the world to be aware of, because it lied so viciously last time. You know, in a couple of days they were showing y'all that we were doing all right in New Orleans, and we were still floating, literally floating, dead bodies floating last time. So Josh is here, but I'm glad she's here. I'm going to go out in a little bit and go do some research on my elders and see how many strong men we still have left here so we can get some of this debris out of the way. And we'll do that. I'll tell Josh, what you think? Give me a time.
Okay, it's right now. It's 11 o'clock in Atlanta. What time is it there?
So it would be 10 here, right?
My time would be good, and we'll get another update live and direct from the storm in New Orleans. Stay tuned.
There's in Wall Street Village. Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Stay strong and be safe.
Keep us in your prayers, baby. I got this one.
Thank
you very much for being concerned about us. It's more than we can say about some of the people who are here.
Thank you much. Live update report, live and direct from New Orleans. I'm your reporter here in Atlanta, Hassan, and you've been talking with Mama D and also Joshalyn of Education for Peace. From New Orleans, the Eye of Isaac, brewing right there, right now. So stay tuned for another update as we cover live and direct the storm on WACP, the place to be, for we are creative people. WACP, the place to be, for we are creative people, and some place to be on a conference call from New Orleans, Louisiana, where Isaac have just touched down. This is Thursday afternoon on the 30th of August, the day after the 7th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, and now we have Hurricane Isaac, who has come through New Orleans, and momentarily we will have a guest on the line who we will be hooking up with to talk to directly from New Orleans, Louisiana. This is Hassan Ortiz Rahim in Atlanta. I'm safe and sound in 11-story high-rise, but they are there on the ground zero, in the eye of Hurricane Isaac. So momentarily we will have them on the line, and we will be talking with, I'm told, from our sister Joshalyn, who's a Education for Peace reporter from Washington, D.C., and she drove into the storm instead of away from the storm. So we're going to be talking with them momentarily. Stay tuned. Yes, greetings. How are you?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Excellent. And who are we talking with?
My name is Sino from New Orleans.
Okay. I'm told you're one of the activists in New Orleans that when things happen, you're on the scene to find out what's going on. So we're on the line right now, and we'd like to know what's going on. I mean, from 7 years ago to today. I mean, I know that's a lot of time to talk about, but can you break it down for us?
Basically, first of all, God is good because we're alive down here.
Yes.
That's always first. God is good, and we give God the praise. But this day and for the days of the storm. But everything is everything as it's gonna be down here. Had a lot of wind damage, not a lot of water. But it was a lot of wind damage. They have a lot of, a few places that flooded a little bit. But as far as this particular storm, but for the most part, as far as that goes, that's how that was. But that's basically it.
Well, tell us this. We see on the news and also pictures from the news where people are walking in water somewhere between their waist and their shoulder, and that's kind of high. Where is this? Where are they? They're saying that this is in New Orleans. Where is this?
That's actually probably in La Place, because we just got word of that here in New Orleans. That areas such as La Place, Amy, Tickfall, Laranja, Wava, Louisiana, all those places just received a lot of water because one of the dams was going to fail. So a lot of the places kind of northeast of Louisiana, of New Orleans, basically caught a lot of water, and that's just recently from the morning's storm surge. So that's what we just received just now. So a lot of people weren't talking about it, but I think that's particularly in La Place.
Okay, so
it's like Kenner Narco area.
So last Katrina did a lot of devastation, a lot of high water in the 9th Ward and around where most of black people live.
No, it was in the black area. They have black folk that live in that area. They have a lot of black folk that live in that area. There's also white folk that live in that area as well. So,
okay.
But the storm is gonna hit where it's gonna hit, no matter
what the race of the people.
Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, is who has the fastest resources that's applied to them. That's the question that we have to ask. And a lot of things that went on down here for the past couple of days, as you listen to the mayor and people, a lot of them, were saying get out. But it's always kind of hard for some people to get out, and that's what I think people don't understand, because for the most part, everybody is still living. A lot of people, I'm not going to say everybody, a lot of people are still living on minimum wage with one job. The economy is bad. They don't have multitude of jobs for people to have, and when you're telling people to evacuate and to leave when there is no money, because people have to take care of their families, they got to take care of their homes and everything else of their daily life, because people have bills every day. But if they only have a job for the particular part, and people got to understand and know that New Orleans is becoming more and more every day, every month, every year, a tourist attracting town. But you're only paying people $7 an hour, $7.25 an hour. You work 8 hours a day, you take out taxes, that's $52, $53 a day, so we're talking about who have the fastest outreach to those resources. That's what we have to think about when we talk about these storms. Okay.
Now tell us give us a little history on Katrina. And, a lot of promises were made, and a lot of people, some people lost their lives and property, and property was bought and sold and stolen. Give us an update on that.
Basically, a lot of things have changed, and they haven't changed for the better. Not in the community. The community meaning the people, because it's still hard for people. Our people, especially New Orleans people, we are strong people, so we're gonna be resilient no matter what the outcome is. But it's still hard for people. A lot of stuff as far as the education is changing, and it's changing in a way that's not conducive to the community. And when I say community, I'm speaking as a whole, and I'm speaking for the African community in New Orleans. And, you know, it's changing, and it's military formated / jail formated. That's one of the things that's happening down here. Like I said, the tourist thing, that's going to keep the New Orleans afloat as far as other outcomes above it. But for the major people that do the work, that were here, that got people out, there was people on the ground, and their story never was told. Still to this day, even with all the different movies that came out, with the different documentaries that came out, a lot of people's story have yet to come out. One of the stories is, you know, I really believe that it was a small attack, and people may not want to take it in their way, but it had to be a small attack on black people in this country, for the simple fact that my mother, she was incarcerated at this time.
Okay.
With Katrina, and she was in the women's jail inside the New Orleans Parish Prison, and these were women that were stuck in jail for 5 and 6 days until they got out. But by the time that they did get out, along with all the rest of the other inmates, they saw a lot of body bags under the ground, under the bridge. Body bags that weren't filled. They were empty. Meaning that was meant for them. Because people, they didn't care about them. Everybody left. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to what we talked about before, having the resources. Even still, I think they did it. I think the governors and the mayors and everybody did a better job this time around, but it wasn't the same type of storm. And I'm not complaining or dragging on about the past, but we all have to learn from, you know, past mistakes and whatnot. But the difference was, as I said, those resources, those things that people could tangibly grasp and being able to use. And, you know, like I said, that story there that wasn't told, my best friend, on August 29th is his first son's birthday. And on Katrina that day, family was being separated by the U.S. military, saying women over here, kids over here, and men over here. And he's like, what you mean? That doesn't make sense. We need to be together as one, whether what bus we get on or where we're going to go. But he's trying to split a man's family apart in front of his face. See,
sounds like what happened in slavery.
Nobody talks about these stories, you know, so we still have to remember that. We never supposed to forget.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Wow. So, where were you at the time of Katrina, and what is your memories, you know, going through this?
I was in Baton Rouge at the time. I came down Friday night. I came down to New Orleans Friday night, and absent-minded of a storm even coming. Me and my best friend, LC, who is from this neighborhood where I am right now, we was at his house, and his mother and his sister woke us up and said, y'all better leave, because we just got down there at 12 o'clock that night, and we woke up at probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and they say there's a storm coming, y'all might want to go right back to Baton Rouge because we was in college, and we left and we went right back. And then Monday, when the storm hit, it was, it was rainy, it was bad. Some of my people had to leave, and they came and they evacuated out there by me. And I had at least 22 people with me at any given time in a 2-bedroom apartment. So I was thankful enough. I was grateful enough to not be in New Orleans at that time, but also grateful enough to be able to open my home up to have some family members and friends having a place that they could come to for refuge out of the storm.
Wow. So I mean, this Isaac. Some people we're reading the reports on the news and all. Some people are saying that it's worse than Katrina. Some people are saying that that it barely did this or did that. What does it look like from your eye standpoint?
You got to say worse than Katrina, and from, if you're talking about from my eye point, I say you could possibly say yes, it's worse from Katrina, because Katrina didn't do anything to New Orleans. The U.S. government did something to New Orleans.
Wow.
And that's the difference. And people, if I'm being too harsh, I don't apologize for it, because it is what it is, and it has happened, and we can't be apologizing for the faults of others that hurt our people. So
absolutely,
Katrina didn't do that much to New Orleans. America did that, but as far as Isaac goes, and that's why I said it's different than people outside, because a lot of the people that live on the outskirts of New Orleans are now getting, some of those storm surges and, worse outcomes because they live on the outskirts of New Orleans. They didn't get the brunt, and, my heart and my prayers go out to those folks as well, and hope that they be all right. That's a lot of the river parish folk, people who live along the rivers on both sides. So our hearts and our prayers go out to all of those folks who are dealing with the aftermath of Isaac.
Okay. Wow. Well, let me ask you about this. In studying weather and weather patterns and hurricanes and all that, so we understand that there has been major studies since the early 1940s dealing with storms, and then the government came in and they created something called HARP, and this HARP, they are able to aim and direct it and actually heat up the water so that it'll follow a certain path, and direct and guide storms, where they want them to go and all that. So what is your background or knowledge or information on that? And do you believe that these two hurricanes, talking about Katrina and also Isaac, do you believe that maybe they were guided?
I know something about HARP. I don't know everything about it. I did some research toward it, and I really can't tell you the truth, if they did or didn't with either. I'm not sure. I'm gonna just say I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I don't think. My thing would be to look at some other instances that are happening across the world.
Yes.
That's what he simply said.
So it's more likely there was a natural occurrence, a natural disaster, natural storm, and it seems kind of ironic that both of these storms happen on the same day. I guess that's the way it is in the hurricane season. This is the hurricane season, but it's very ironic that they would happen on the same day. Yes,
that's right. That's right. But like I said, I don't find. That's why again, because it's a natural occurrence, because it's a natural thing, because it's supposed to happen. It's the cleansing. It's the cleansing of the winds. You know what I mean? Hurricanes are going to happen, and typhoons are going to happen. All of these different things are going to happen. At their given moment. As far as guiding it and the date, I just don't believe that's I don't believe that they had anything to do with either of those. That's just my thing.
Okay,
I could be wrong though.
Okay, well, on a higher note, you had or you were planning to participate in the 7th commemoration of Katrina. What was that going to be like, and is it still on? Is it postponed? Or tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, it's still on. We postponed it to September 3rd, which is this Monday coming up, and we do it from Jordan and Galvez. Start off with the libation to remember those who we lost in the storm. We gonna, and then we march all the way from Jordan and Galvez all the way down to Huntersville usually, but this time we're gonna go down to Bunny Friend Park. That's almost the same distance, and we're just going to a different part to commemorate it. We do it every year. It's an idea that my brother and I, along with a host of different people, came up with. A year after Katrina, we came up with it a couple of months before, actually, and we just been doing it every year, always to remember our people. I heard someone say the other day that it was 1,834 people that passed, and that those numbers are incorrect. We had an estimation that it was somewhere close to 3,400 people.
Wow.
3,400 people, and those numbers could be incorrect. So it's not a less number, So we want to remember our people the way we always remember. We march and we second line. That's an old New Orleans traditional way to, remember the folks that passed in the storm, and we do it every year to commemorate their lives. We celebrate down here. We don't celebrate the death. No, we celebrate the life of the person that has perished and gone to the other side. And a lot of people get that misconstrued too, that we celebrate that, and that's not what it is. We know that life is a precious thing, so we celebrate their lives.
Wow.
And I also have here with me my brother here, and let you know a little bit about it as well. Hold on.
Yes, greetings.
We're good with a successful 5, nothing but fire records, Katrina Commemoration Foundation.
Yes, give us your name.
Successful 5, SESS, the number 4 dash the number 5. Successful 5, New Orleans, 9th Ward, Desire Housing Development, New Orleans native.
Yes, greetings and welcome to the broadcast. We are actually tuned live and direct on WACPtv out of Atlanta, and also Live Com 5, which is out of Washington, D.C., and our hostess is Joshalyn, who traveled not away from the storm, but into the storm, and she's live there with you right now with a camera, and we want to thank her for her contributions to this great effort of getting the word out about our people, especially our people in New Orleans who have suffered prior to Katrina, and especially here now after Katrina and into this period that we're in right now. Isaac, what is the weather like there right now, this very minute?
Right now in New Orleans, I think we have a break from the rain for, because the Isaac has passed New Orleans, but of course we still have those rain bands and all of those wind bands that are, still a part of, a hurricane, a tropical storm as it is now. And so at this present moment, we got a break from the rain, but in a few minutes, it can be raining again. And right now, just throughout the city, we still have a lot of people with, without power. And so a lot of the city is waiting on power. We have over 500,000 people without power. And so, we just waiting for energy to get a chance to do their job and get the lights on. But, for the most part, everybody is pretty much safe. And so that's the good thing,
Yes, we give thanks. Now, let's go back to 7 years ago. Where were you, and what was your experience with this disaster called Katrina?
Well, 7 years ago, before Katrina, of course, we living in New Orleans, we just watching the weather programs and, seeing that it was going to be a Category 5. I was reluctant to leave myself. I didn't think it was going to be anything. But, I have a family, and my family was encouraging me to leave, and we went to Baton Rouge, which is an hour away, about 60 miles away. And, I just saw everything, I guess, on the news like, everybody else saw it, but probably got a little more news seeing it a little local. You get to see more stuff than you see nationally. But it was tragic because it wasn't the actual hurricane that did the damage. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of folks say, the hurricane did the damage. No, the hurricane passed. You know what I'm saying? So people was here, on the ground after the hurricane passed. Now what happened after the hurricane passed is what caused the tragedy. You know what I'm saying? And so, folks who hesitate to say it, the levees in the lower ninth ward were blue. They blew the levees up, and then the water came into the lower ninth ward and then to other parts of the city, and that is what caused the disaster. So it wasn't, the hurricane. It was a man-made disaster, and so that's why we saw all of the water hitting the city. It wasn't the hurricane. It wasn't the winds. It was actually, the water from the levees being blown.
So the Corps of Engineers, United States Corps of Engineers, actually blew up the levees. That's what I've been told, and from evidence of what we have been able to glean, that's exactly what happened. They did not admit it. I don't believe that they've admitted it to this day, but on the news this time, I did hear that they were deciding whether or not they were going to, in the words spoken on the news, whether or not they were going to have to, they didn't say blow, they said cut a hole in the dam so that it could release the pressure on the water. They said that they might have to do that.
I'm hearing release. They have a number of different verbs
right.
that they're using. You know what I'm saying, to, you know, release pressure and release the water. But, of course, yeah, like they said, they're orchestrating it, you know, right now in different parts of Louisiana. But, yeah, man, you know, even it's 7 years later, and, of course, you know, they're not going to admit what's happening. But as I look at the new Orleans, you know, I see the orchestrated plan that was in place, you know, when they got the opportunity to get this Category 5 hurricane to come through New Orleans, Louisiana, because, you know, they moved out a lot of the homeowners that was here, you know, in the Lower Ninth Ward also, you know, like, you know, we just seeing all kind of, you know, white folks just taking over areas in New Orleans. You got the Tremie, they done took over Tremie, Ferret Street, you heard me, all parts of New Orleans, the neighborhood that used to be 100% black, now is, you know, 20% black, and they got bike trails all around the city. Well, you know, I've been riding bikes in New Orleans for 20 years. I ain't never had a bike trail. You know what I'm saying? But now the Caucasians here, we got bike trails all through the CBD, through the neighborhoods, all over. So, you know, we see they plan orchestrated. We have, you know, the Caucasian mayor, the Caucasian city council now, you know, in a city that was very much, you know, democratic. Right now is Republicans got a chance in New Orleans when, you know, this was a democratic city and it was, you know, majority black, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we still fighting, we resilient, and we gonna make sure the people come back who are able to come back and who want to come back, you know what I'm saying? We're going to make sure they come back to the city, and the ones that are here, you know, we still going to hold it down and represent for the people that's here.
Okay. Well, we give thanks for your presence and your information and holding strong there in New Orleans. Is there something that you want to share with the listening audience, the viewing audience, about New Orleans, about yourself, or about the time that we're living in right now?
First off, I want to thank Josh, you heard me, because Josh, you know, she holds it down, you heard me, way from D.C., and, you know, she comes down to New Orleans and she supports everything that we do, so I got to verbally get that mad love, you know, back out so y'all can know, you know, to support her. You know, wherever y'all at, you know what I'm saying, make sure y'all support the show because she holds it down, you know what I'm saying. I got to shout out Mama D, Young Sino, and just to, you know, let y'all know here in New Orleans, definitely come down and support us. We have a black-owned business called Nothing But Fire Record Store, 1840 North Claiborne. Come down and support what it is that we are offering to the people, music, of course. And yesterday was the 7th year, you know, anniversary of Hurricane America, as we call it, you know, a.k.a. Katrina, you know what I'm saying? But and we do this commemoration, you know, every year honoring the lives of the folks that passed and then, you know, of course, celebrating the folks that's here on the ground still working. And so by Isaac coming through, we had to postpone the particular march and second line we do. And so we postponed it to this coming Monday, September 3rd. Which is also, you know, America's Labor Day, you know. So, you know, we're going to do our 7th-year anniversary, you know, commemoration this coming Monday. So if folks want to, you know, be a part of that, they can come down and support that movement. Okay.
Well, that sounds like a winner. Is Mama D available? We want to get her in on this discussion if possible. And we want to thank her for her providing the shelter and the getting in out of the storm location so that we could even do this presentation here. So if she could come to the mic, we would be very pleased.
Okay, well, we'll definitely see if we can make that happen. Hold on 1 second. We got one more brother that we need to get on right quick.
All right, then.
All right. How y'all doing tonight?
Greetings. How are you?
I'm all
and who
right.
are we speaking with?
This is Conde, Official 100. I'm a neighborhood activist.
Neighborhood activist.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
Not because I'm rebellious, but because I'm active in a neighborhood.
All right, then. Well, give us your perspective on Katrina, Isaac, New Orleans, and the time in which we live in right now.
Well, the times we live in right now, it's a new culture in New Orleans. Everybody's post-traumatic syndrome because of Katrina, and the media have everybody running out because of hurricanes. You know, when we used to sit and dwell, it was a time for family to get together and sit and, you know, learn different things, learn new things, and just become a family. You know, Nowadays, after Katrina, everybody want to run out and say we're going to take a mini vacation during Labor Day weekend, but that's not what it's about. To New Orleans, it meant a whole different thing when it was hurricane time. We got together and we did what we could do for each other. But it's a new culture that we have going on now. After Katrina, everybody's post-traumatic syndrome, like I said once before, and they're just running. It's something new for us. So, you know, I set it out, Hurricane Isaac, and I did what I could do for the neighborhood. And without lights, I did what I could do for myself and my family. You know,
right.
That's what I'm still doing because I'm still without lights. I actually stay next door to Mama D, so, you know, she has lights and I don't. We just one address number away, so we doing what we can do for each other.
Yes. Yes. So do you feel even more closer in a time of this nature? And if so, tell us about that.
What's that?
The closeness that a disaster would bring. I mean, tell us about that now and then.
There was many grant monies given to the government, to the city to fix levees and, you know, do different things for the city to recover. But us as civilians in the city, we don't see it. You know, we don't believe it. The money goes where it goes. We hear where it goes, but we never see where it goes. So, like I said once before, we do what we can do for each other. They fixed certain levees that they already blew, but, you know, it was a man-made thing. They blew them. After Katrina, the sun came out and shined on us. We saw rainbows. And you know what rainbows mean in biblical. You know, it's like, you know, assuring that God won't hurt us again or flood us again. And after that, we saw rainbows, and once the rainbows passed, the water just flooded in. So, you know, it was an experience. Nowadays, I just look at it like now I know what to do in case there's a hurricane that's a category 3, 4, or 5. I look at it as an experience, just like if I was looking for a job. So there's no running, no more. There's no running.
Wow. Wow. All right,
definitely. It's always a wow in New Orleans. I'm glad you stated it. It's always a wow. It's somebody always doing something that will make you wow.
Wow. That's something. You know, New Orleans and Haiti and some of the other disasters that we've seen, you know, it's just amazing how people still hold on.
You can't really compare us to Haiti because Haiti's a third world country, not saying that it's different or we're better or nothing like that, but we are Americans. This is New Orleans. After the hurricane, they still consider us as refugees. Where do we go from there? Every city we went to, the civilians was in defense. It was like, you know, we couldn't ask questions. It was only certain people we can go to for help. And at the time, Bush was the president. So, he invited us to Houston, his hometown. So, you know, we did what we could do with that. We made do. The same way everybody doing the South. That's what we say in the South. We make do. And we showed everybody our Southern hospitality. So that's what we doing right now, doing Isaac. We showing our neighbors Southern hospitality. We taking care of everybody. We taking care of ourselves. We taking care of our neighbors. We not letting anybody go without.
Wow. You know, so That's what we are supposed to do. I mean, you know, before...
That's what we're all supposed to do. Actually.
Yes.
That's what people are supposed to do. It's the humane thing to do.
Yes, indeed.
Well, actually, I can't speak on the Mexicans coming in because the Mexicans are really, you know, they're allowed to come in by government. You know, they're only doing what we was trying to do when we first came in. So, you know, what they're doing is actually a livelihood thing. But who gives them the right to come in and try to do it over our heads and do it for cheaper prices? We've been here. New Orleans was a city that was actually built by black people, black architects. Everything that was structured was built by black people. Even though somebody else gave them the blueprint to build it this way or that way, hands-on, black people did it. You know, so we're capable of a lot of things, and feeling is not one of them. So I don't want anybody across the world to ever believe that, you know, we're just failures or we can't do what we're supposed to do. Because we, like I said, Southern hospitality, we're taking care of each other right now. I don't have lights and Mama D does.
Wow.
And I cook. She said I cooked. And then, yes, I did. I barbecued, and I served Mama D like a queen. And she asked me the next day that I need to charge my cell phone. So, you know, we're taking care of each other. And once we spread across the nation, we can take care of everybody. We actually are trendsetters. Because right now, I don't see anybody on CNN, on Fox, World Star, any network, any social network right now that's expressing what's going on across the world. I don't see anybody doing what we're doing. So, you know.
All right. Well, we'd like to remind you that you are tuned live to COM5 Live out of D.C., Washington, D.C., with Education for Peace, Joshalyn Lawrence, and WACPtv out of Atlanta, which is a network community, our community network. So, yes, we're doing what is given to be done at a time like this. Come together and educate and pass the word to others as to what is really going on, because your TV, television, tell lies and give us commercials. So we have to do what we need to do at a time like this.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And like I said, we are trendsetters, but at the moment I want to give a shout-out to Mama D because she do scream at me certain things, and certain things I hear and commend to, and certain things, you know, I don't. But I'm just a young man growing up, and I want to give a shout-out to young Cino because I did see him earlier, late this week before the hurricane passed through, and we both was enjoying ourselves at the ball in the first quarter, you know. And I want to give a shout-out to Steps for Five for coming through and supporting his little brother, and Josh for videotaping and getting this out to the world, you know. So this is Official 100, and I'm gonna pass the microphone to Mama D.
Yes, Mama D. Greetings, Mama D. How are you? And last time we talked, you were under the eye of Isaac and wind and rain and all like so was coming in. You were talking about going out and checking on the elders. So give us an update.
Let me just share this with you first, brother. I'm sitting with 3 of my leaders. This morning, Josh had to move a limb out of the driveway to put it in front of my door. Well, we know that you need to put the debris on the thoroughfares because you're not really going to come through the hood. And then we looked up and looked down the street, and the young man you just got you talking to, he was in the middle of the street, removing debris, taking care of the hood. You know, I got on the phone and put in a jingle to Tessa and Lift, you know, because when I have these young people around me, I don't have nothing to worry about, Bruce. You know, America tried to paint that old ugly picture. You know, Louisiana is the number one incarcerating place in the world. I didn't say America, to the world. And so it gives this image of our children, and I'm so glad Josh had the courage to come and be a part of this, because you can hear from the young men you're talking to. You know, the first 2 young men you're talking to, if you saw on CNN, There were two brothers in the city council chambers that they had them by their locks, and they had them in headlocks when they were going to see about housing for people after Katrina. The young man sitting to my right, the last young man you're talking to, he's trying to get his way up out of Dillard University. He's a senior there. You know, the image that America projects for African men in the world is just ridiculous. You know, and like the young man was telling you, the check was made out to either the Spanish or the French, but the labor was done by Africans in the city. And we didn't all come here with chains. You know, a lot of the chains came after that. And we keep using that word slavery. That's like some XXXHLC. And when they say you're saying using vulgar language, that's a vulgar word to me. Because when that's a crude, mental, deranged group of people that would put chains around people's necks and force them to come into the situation. And the question Josh asked about the Latinos, get off our back. They didn't chain you up and lay you on no ship and wait, sisters and brothers, to get here. You don't mind other people being in our community, but you ought to see the sidings flopping off of the houses right now. You ought to see the roofs coming off that this good labor that they force our young men out of the city to bring these people in here to do. But the sad part about it, Dave, is that they're here. We still trying to get home. They have housing. We still trying to get home. One came and said he liked the house across the street that was for sale. I said, don't even think about it, bro. You can't live there. Well, I got your money. I said, yeah, you got that brother's job, so he don't have no more money now to pay his house note, and then now you just going to walk in and you're going to buy the house across the street for me? It won't happen like that. Not in my America. You know, and these are some things we really have to give some thought to because, you know, the PPs in our eyes, that's the intelligent, ignorant, and the poverty pimps. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and now we find out nationalities. And we're not saying to anybody, we don't want you. We say, I got to give up mine for you to have some.
Wow.
Because understand that. Why I got to be unemployed while you come from a whole nother space and get a job. Why my boys, I got to go out there and yell at the police or go get them our police cars because they want to check every 5 minutes. But you coming because you from somewhere else, you ain't got to be checked at all. You don't have to have a tag on your car. You don't have to, you know, like I called cops and told them, come get your shit, come get your stuff. Because I got basic, y'all don't know I'm old. I don't need 12 channels and 6 of them are in Spanish. I live in New Orleans. You know, my rebellion when I was a youngster was I wanted to learn Swahili. I lived near Xavier University and they had a lot of Africans from foreign countries that came here. You know, they got their education and they went home to do something for home. You know, I'm saying how you come, and this is not just this new Latino group. We got everything in here. We got Russians. We got all kind of people. You know, after Katrina, I went down to where the police were housed, and I asked for a bottle of water, and the lady told me she couldn't give me no water. And I'm saying to her, what you saying? Because when I find out she's from Denmark, I didn't need somebody flying here from Denmark to serve us water was the number one issue. And the main reason why, see, they tricked us once with Katrina. But these young men have been in here, and they've been on top of it. And had we been here after Katrina, less of us would have died because we still don't have a total how many Africans died in the city. Ninth Ward wouldn't be looking like it's looking because this morning didn't nobody come. Didn't the neighborhood, 501c3, nobody come and say, oh, we come to clean up your neighborhood. The young men and the old men, Josh got shots of it, were out there in the middle of that street, and they cleaned from one end to the other end. For everybody. It wasn't like he didn't come out, so I ain't going to do. They got together and they did this. And it would have been a better, you know, like with Katrina. The first responders to Katrina, I can say it to the world, were African men in this town. They swam in that water. They tied bodies up under overpasses to keep them from sinking. We saw people just floating up and down the street. See, that couldn't happen this time. Because when I looked out my door, somebody was peeping out the door at me. We looked up and down the street and we saw what needed to happen. People's garbage cans needed to be put in safe places. Debris needed to be moved so the wind wouldn't take it away. All of these things came. Like I said yesterday, I was smelling and kind of looking out the corner of my eye, kind of. But I didn't have to ask this child. His mama, did you eat? I said, when you finish. You know, and he got me, like you said, a meal for a queen. As a matter of fact, I was able to eat twice off him. This is the heart of New Orleans. You know, I tell people from all over the world, have you been there? Most people say, yeah. And I said, well, why y'all letting them handle upon us like this out here in the rest of the world? You know, when you came, you did things in New Orleans you don't normally do because wasn't nobody there to tell on you. And then we sobered you up, left your money in your pocket, and we made sure you got this flight out of town on time. So, you know, most of the world knows there's that kind of a peaceful people. Like, you know, I can call on any of these young men anytime I need to. And they just sleep. But they're three what I consider can be leaders that we need to cultivate. The comment I made to Josh when she was filming was, I said, if you teach, it will happen. And they know at some point I was going to wild out about why y'all sitting down and it's not sitting up. That didn't even have to happen without a conversation. The young man was picking up the debris with his hand. I said, why you don't come get the shovels? And it just grew. When Josh looked up, they were all up and down the street, everybody raking and pulling the big branches on the side and making paths. And, you know, when the madmen get to our neighborhood, it's done. We finished. We're not going to sit here and be dirty and subject to all of this, waiting on somebody to come do it for us. And they knew that about the New Orleans Spirit. You know, like I said, they tricked us out from Katrina, but didn't nobody leave here. But the people just wanted to go on this Labor Day weekend, and they were going, you know, somewhere to relax and just get away from, you know, because I'm shell-shocked. What they call it, the military people, PS, something, post-traumatic stress. I'm wild out. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just coming back. When Josh pulled in the driveway, I said, I haven't gotten here yet. And when I heard it start crying, that's what it sounded like to me with Katrina. I've lost a child. When a parent's wailing and they don't know what's coming out of them, you know, that's how Katrina sounded. When I heard the sounds come, I said, Isaac has made land. But you know what, baby? Isaac made land in the places where people were calling us crazy, where people were saying we don't need to renew New Orleans. It's in the water anyway. Why are we going to spend money on New Orleans? Well, we want to know now, are we going to spend money on the other places that are sitting with their rooftops showing now? Are we going to go and rescue them and give them a helping hand? You know, and we don't have no problems with that. You know, it's like I was telling you earlier about with the Hispanics and the Latinos. We see what you're saying you're doing and what we see you doing is two different things. You ain't come to help me, displacing me out of my neighborhood. Wow. You're not coming to help me when you don't need no ID, you don't get no background check, and you can get the job. Like Latino got a song that I use when I speak around the country. You know, it's pitiful when your police jacket becomes your resume. And America's trying to do that with, am I saying it right, baby? Yeah, you got a song. See, I don't be knowing the name of y'all songs, so I use it. You have a song that says, you talk about the situation when all the young brothers' police jackets are the resumes. You know, this is what America has targeted. Right. You know, and it's pitiful when a big old, supposed to be the world great America, got to accuse young African men of being guilty of being America's problem. It's not so. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. And America going to know it sooner or later. I tell all my young people, go look at that movie with Denzel Washington, Ricochet. He was going up the ladder. He's going to become district attorney, still a European in prison. It was holy hell for him. He had to go back to his hood to save his family. And that's how we ask folks to do. We're not telling you to grow, not to grow, but grow with some spirit, but like this young man was saying, with some humanity in your heart. Just give what you were expecting. You know, I take my hat off to young Africans, particularly males in America. And sisters, y'all better pay attention because the women's population in prison is growing. I take my hat off for them. You know, these children, you hear where they are. Baby, when did you graduate from Southern? 2002. Yeah, you got a little brother, 2008, he down there saying, give my people some housing, treat us fair. You would have thought that they was that little European that just went up in the movie theater. I mean, that was just bad. In normal, Americanized protest. If you go look at CNN, back at the time during Katrina,
they got Seth and Encino jacked up like you would have thought they had just did one of these monstrous crimes. And all they was doing standing before a body of people, call our city council, asking them to give some relief to the people of the community. And we need this. And if you get that music, you will hear this through their music. I mean, they got to bump up and what you call it, bump and grind and jump up and down because they're at that age. But listen to their message music. You know, like a brother told me, another little brother who's a rapper, he said, well, Mama D, we got to do what we got to do to make the money. He said, but if you listen, you will hear. Like I was telling Lil Wayne, I heard Carter 3, was it 3 or 4? And some of that was sounding real crazy, but the rest of it was making sense. He was telling us about ourselves. Like, what's the one you do, just, you want to ride, come ride with me? Yeah, let me just give you a little verse out of this, brother, so you can understand what I'm saying.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'm back on Jack, live from the set. I ain't from Houston, but I got a lot of zeros on my check. Even though they think I'm rich, I ain't made a meal yet. I'm still representing the 9 in that desired project where the Black Panther Party was known to protest. Now the Black Love Movement, we own it. So next, it feels good to be home. You know, next, because every second you're gone, the long and slow debt. They raise the rent because they know we can't pay that They price gouging, but this is here to say that you got to fight back and put them crackers in the corner. The same thing could happen in New York or California. They want us out of Texas and they want us out of Atlanta. And they don't want our black ass back in Louisiana. It's about black and white and it's about human rights. They got us once, I'll be damned if they get us twice. No surrender, no retreat, no defeat, no sleep. To be Southside soldiers be. My people know how to ride. You can ride with me. My people know how to die, stay alive with me. Let's go. No surrender.
Does that tell it all? Can you remember a verse from the one day about the jacket? Yes, indeed. But you know, this is what I listen to. You know, they tell me on Friday nights you can't find me unless you're on Bayou Road and Jersey-Wood. That's what a reggae club is.
Okay.
Invite me to one of their concerts. How can I talk about them and be about them if I ain't around them to know anything about them?
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
New Orleans is a city where they left the ballroom door open when I was a child, and everybody went in and you don't need a male or female dance. You just get up and dance in New Orleans. But we saw wasn't nothing spooky happening there. They come to the door and give you a fish sandwich or a pickle or something, you know, but we could see that everybody was just having fun. And that seems to be a problem with the rest of the world. You know, At one point I was doing some stuff around the world, and New Orleans was the number one. They won't say that because we're black. But they said we were number 2 in the world, most visited place in the world. And it's obvious they're not coming about the buildings because they ain't had no buildings. It was raggedy after Katrina, but they still came. And a lot of them lied. They didn't come to help us. They came to be about watching what was going on. And really, a lot of them were in the way because we had to ask for some of them to just get them. What can we do to help? Get out the hood. We got this.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing because when I saw the influx and Mexicans coming on the corner and we saw some of the activity going on and we tried to talk with them about the circumstances. So I got all the little brothers together. They said, Mama D, we ain't scared. We got this. We got this. So I'm gonna let anybody else, because you know I can go on and on, baby. But I feel like God has touched us, because if you can go get anybody, and I don't mean no harm to nobody else in the world, but go get your best, because I know I got the best in New Orleans. I don't have to go pre-test them and get them ready. They stay ready. You know, the school of hard knocks is a monster, but you can come out shining. You know, like Bob says, stay in the light. That's all we have to do as the people. Stay in the light. Don't let that negativity overpower us. You know, Chestnut got on the road with me after Katrina. They went out and letting people know what was happening, you know, with us. And I don't have to cringe and worry about what they're going to say. They know what to say. And then they're better than me at how to say what needs to be said. And then they put actions on top of their words. Let's say telling you this brother runs a summer program for youth in this city every summer. Most of it out of his pocket. You know, most of the things our young people do, they do for themselves. You know, and you can go back in our history. What's his name? We just passed the project uptown. Master P. Master P gave the Catholic people $500,000 to keep a black school open that he went to. You don't hear these things. Wayne gives to a lot of things. Same thing happened to Michael Jackson. I told black folk, y'all going to be sorry. You're going to miss him because he never let his name be known with the many things that he did, projects that he worked on for people across the world. You know, so we got to be on our game. And, you know, it's like when the police knock on my door. I know who live in here. Now what you want? You know, just the automatic scheme of things. You know, you got to watch the little subliminal things, brother. Like on the commercials. When it's about something good happening, you see all the little white children flying around. When it's about starving to death or having a problem with the prison, they're showing our children. And that's not a reality. In this little raggedy state I live in called Louisiana, we got a little colored boy from India as the governor. He's darker than most black folk I know. But he changed his name to Bobby because the family with the Bobby on television is his symbol of how it goes. Well, that excludes us in the community. How you come to a majority, particularly New Orleans, black space, and decide you're going to change that? Well, you know, they've got a couple of things they don't believe in, boo, that come all the way. Do you know where Isaac came from? Go look at Isaac's origin. Isaac started. Where did it start, boo? No, I'm talking about Isaac that just came through here the other day. Isaac formulated on the west coast of Africa. This is where they first shed the blood of Africans. And every time one of the big ones formulates right there, where they took and barbarically chained and raped. The men got raped too. You just didn't have no babies at the end of the ride. You want to know why some people decided? Yeah, it go like that, boo. And we need to understand that, you know. And New Orleans is too small of a physical space for Catholic. Did you see the film of Haiti when Isaac came through? You see them people still sitting there with sticks and plastic wrapped around them from their disaster they had? Did you see in Louisiana, Red Cross that took Haiti's money and they built in a big old building to house the white folk who running from us over on the North Shore? Well, you get $5 million to do that, and the people in Haiti, the call says, dial this number and the money go to Haiti. And their excuse is that they don't have to give up all the money. Well, they didn't give up none. You know, they went and they bled those poor people. And then not only that, they went down kidnapping their children. You know, it's just a pitiful situation. But you know what? Hold on a minute.
Back in, I want to say, in the 1600s, Constantine came with that symbol, which is actually an African symbol, which means peace. The cross means peace, but he said we will come and conquer the world with this particular sign, which is a cross, and it was painted red when they went and started their crusades across Africa and across the rest of the world. And they still doing it to this day, the thing that Mama T is talking about right now, the American Red Cross. We exposed Red Cross down here in New Orleans after they supposedly had $68 million for people, for African people from New Orleans. And nobody was getting that. And that was in 2006. So, yeah, same stuff, man, and it's the same people.
And nobody's been indicted.
You want to ask anything, brother?
Absolutely. I want to know everything that you've heard or we've heard on the news and in movies about Katrina and New Orleans. What is the biggest lie that came out of those movies and those news reports?
Brother, I mean, I don't mean to sound negative, but all of it was a lie. Every drop of it was a lie. If you're watching Trey May, my son, say, "Man, don't look at that. You ain't going to be able to handle it." You know, they say Spike Lee been down here with some stuff. And then this other, we got a real crook. What's his wife got the big bubble lips? White boy. Brad Pitt. Go come see what Brad Pitt doing to the knife boy. But they putting up circus houses And for the people to get a house rebuilt, they got to give up their land. You know, if he's a big movie star and he got money to buy them river lifts, he need to go somewhere else and he need to get away from New Orleans. So now, Lower Ninth Waters is one extreme, but the office for this great project they're doing for the people in the Lower Nine is on St. Charles Avenue. That's uptown. What's up with this? You know what I'm saying? Everybody who came to help had a personal objective, and it wasn't about helping us, including the church folk, like Idi Amin said over there in Uganda. You can dress them up with habits and hoods and collars, but we know the devil when we see the devil. And we had maybe 100 501c3 pre-Katrina. We got about 100,000 now because everybody got them a number, and they poverty pimping us. But we don't depend on that. We share here. We give that one love that's got to be for it to be real. Now, Josh said we got to get up out of here, but if you have anything else you want to ask us, brother, feel free. Y'all want to close out, brother? Come on.
I just want to say, look at from down here right now. A lot of people are still out of power. Look at the places that still have power and why the people don't have power, and understand that people got to leave to go out and buy this stuff. And it wasn't that bad of a storm where people should be out of power like that. God is good. God is good.
All right. All right, then. Well, I'd like to remind you that you've been tuned live from New Orleans, the 7th anniversary of Katrina, and the first appearance of Isaac. So I guess that on next year we'll be talking about the commemoration of Katrina and Isaac. But we've been talking with our fine community here in New Orleans. This has been WACPtv, WACPtv.ning.com, and also LiveCom 5 out of Washington, D.C. Atlanta and D.C. On the case. In New Orleans, the Eye of Isaac. This is August the 30th, 2012. Stay tuned for the best and the rest of your life, for we are creative people.
God is good.
Yes.
God is always good.
Yes. Josh, thank you.